you said the changes during those matchups put Sengun on hard. What led you to do that, and what did you see that you liked?
We want to keep our bigs off of Towns. He usually has an advantage over bigs on the perimeter and picking and popping, and so try to take away those actions. Put a big wing on him. Tari did an excellent job. He really had 13 most of the way. He got 9 points late, but yeah, that'll be cross match there. And like I said, if we wanted to start Reed, we probably would have had him on hard, so decided to go that way.
Coach Alperen finished the game with 13 points and 10 assists. He only took 5 shots tonight. How big is it for a person who you depend on so much in the offense to be able to sacrifice himself like that, to give up other shots for other people?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal game. He took what was presented. Anytime he posted up, they were going to flood and go after him. And then he just made continuous plays in the pocket. And so every time he rolled, we seemed to get something good. And they're going to step up on Kevin, step up on Reed, and open up the pocket for him. And he made those plays. And so shows how impactful he can be, and not just scoring the ball, but making the right play every time, and sacrifice the looks. And they're obviously focused on getting it out of his hands in the pocket, and just make the right play. And when you have 10 assists from him, 8 from Kevin, 8 from Ahmed, the ball is popping, low turnovers, good night.
You guys seem to throw multiple guys at Jalen multiple times. Is that something you foresee doing in the playoffs, and just in general, is that a strategy you're seeing more in vogue in the league right now?
I wouldn't say it's anything new. Star players, the league scores, see a lot of different coverages and a lot of bodies thrown at them. We got multiple guys we can do that with, but we really like Ahmed on him initially, and then I try to bring up Reed or Alperen, kind of go after him there and get set behind it. So did a really good job of that, limiting him and just denying him his catches, doing our work early, and that was the result. 5 for 14, only 2 free throws, 12 points.
Ime, was there a game or a moment on that road trip that you sensed Tari turning it around, and how important is it to you guys to have him playing at this level?
Yeah, I think, obviously the Memphis stands out a little bit. Some shots went down, but even before that, his energy was up. You could see when he's second guessing himself and being decisive, and so that seemed to change a little bit. I think Chicago was still a little hesitant, just getting gunshot for missing a lot of shots, but felt like the Minnesota game, he got more active, and then, as we always say, he can impact the game in so many ways that shots are going to eventually fall, and you got to do those other things that he's really great at. And so his energy and effort, and we talked about us meeting and talking about his importance. I think he took that to heart.
You see when Katie and Alpy are in the two-man game, it seems like it's a lot easier for them on the offensive end to get good shots, and it's a lot harder for teams to load up on them. Is that something you want to see more as the season comes in, especially going into the playoffs?
Yeah, they've developed that throughout the season. You have to kind of pick your poison and step up on Kevin and open up the pocket for Alpy, or switch it, and one of them probably has a cross match mismatch, and I think they do a good job of recognizing who has it going on what matchup. But teams will try to take us out of that, and as I've always said, we got to improve on playing against the blitz and making the right plays in the pocket. And when you see Alperen being that decisive and making the right read every time tonight, you're encouraged by it. And so, we want them in it, and don't want to overdose on that. But we got Ahmed, we got Reed, and different guys we can handle with it. It felt like they were trying to guard guys different ways, and that's tough when you have 3 different handlers coming off pick and roll.
Sometimes when Kevin has faced the blitz this season on pick and rolls, turnovers have been an issue, especially on that pocket pass to Sengun. That was not an issue at all today. What was different?
I think he didn't predetermine, understanding, the importance. I think the last 2 games, we had 8 turnovers with 2 shot clock violations in New Orleans, and then 10 tonight with the late shot clock violation. So really 6 and 8 turnover games are great for us. And understanding the importance of that. The first part of beating those blitzes is making teams pay and just not turning it over, and then letting our guys make decisions behind it. And so he understands that. It's been a problem for us and him at times this year, but not predetermining coming off. Sometimes he comes off in attacks, plays a little bit quicker before the blitz can get there, and then when they do step up, just making the pass without turning it over. He understands that.
Does tonight's result, the way the starting lineup performed, change anything about what it might look like tomorrow?
Yeah, it's always fluid. I think it was really matchup based for the reasons I mentioned, but when Tari's playing like he is, it obviously gives us another defensive-minded guy out there, and the offense that he brings, not just shooting the ball, but slashing, offensive rebounding. And Reed, obviously 20 points off the bench is great as well. And so we'll take a look at that, and like I said, I want to formulate what we want to go to this late in the season to get to the playoffs. And so got 5-6 more games to figure that out.
And kind of related to Bloom's KD question, a few times when he had the ball, y'all were running kind of off-ball actions like flare for Reed or split action for Ahmed. Is that one way to kind of occupy the defense to prevent them from sending multiple bodies at KD?
Yeah, I mean, the pick and roll is the easiest way for teams to go after him. You know, they will load up and go after him on post-ups and ISOs as well, but getting him off ball some and being a screener has been good for us. Teams don't want to leave his body, get some in and some guys downhill, and then when he does set screens, it's the same thing, whether it's on or off ball. They're hugged up to him and frees guys up, so he understands that as well, the attention he draws and the importance of him not just handling, but screening, being off ball, and get some movement going.
When you think about the hopes you had for Reed and his development coming into the season around this time of the year, where would you say he's at as far as maybe the expectation you had to help you guys around this time of the year?
He's been great. He's taken a big jump. Some ups and downs as always, especially for young guys that haven't played the point guard position, so there's some of that, but obviously night and day with his aggressiveness and confidence, hunting his shots, and like I said, we all see what he has and know that's in there, and just, you know, doesn't always come, especially with limited minutes in his first year, but really took a good step, and loved his defense tonight, how he's challenging guys, getting after them, and that's going to be a big part of it as well. So I think he's obviously had a really good second year and need that going forward.
Your last two opponents that you played, you know, when you played them earlier, they were two teams that were able to, you know, you all started out fast, they were able to come back on you and win the game. How important was it for you how important was it to stress finishing the game out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's hurt us at times this year, obviously, and an area we need to improve on is playing with the lead, you know, not just playing from behind and having that same intensity. And so tonight it was obviously an emphasis to, you know, with our great start to maintain that throughout, and I think we did that. They, you know, had a 1-point lead at the start of the game, but other than that, it was kind of wire to wire, and every time they made a run, we didn't, you know, get nervous or anxious. We made the right play, and you live with the shots. Sometimes we missed 4 in a row on one possession, but they're good shots, and I think our guys just stuck with what worked, and that's what we talk about. Don't get bored with the things that are working. And you see that with the numbers. Alperen taking 5 shots, getting 10 assists. He's happy with the result, and that's always good for us. And so great to have wire-to-wire wins and not let leads dissipate.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.